On this episode of TheraFit, we welcome Kelby Deerman. Kelby is a native of Huntsville, Alabama, and in 2014, he graduated from the University of Alabama with a Bachelor of Science in Exercise and Sports Science. While at Alabama, Kelby played baseball and worked in the University of Alabama Strength and Conditioning Department with throws and football. After college, he worked at the prestigious Cressy Sports Performance Center in Massachusetts. Kelby is the owner of Legacy Performance in Newport News, Virginia. Today, he's going to talk about the benefits of exercise in youth. Talk about your trajectory, the one that led you from Alabama to Massachusetts, where you worked with pro ball players, to Newport News. Like, how did you feel like that you were led through that process to come from to go from the collegiate circle of training to the major league circuit to the training high school and some college athletes?
Yeah, that was it was like it happened in a whisper, if you will.
Yeah.
I was talking with my mentor, Michelle Diltz, who's a softball strength conditioning coach at Alabama. And, we're pretty smart aleck with each other, say smart things to each other, which is a great relationship. And we were in the office one day, and I went up Eric Cressy Sports Performance is where I was in Boston. And we were having this conversation. She's like, why don't you go work with him? Just under her breath, we're saying something. Or go intern for him or whatever. And I sat there and was like, Because at this time I was kind of in between, do I want to stay in the collegiate realm? Because that realm is football, if you will. And so I was kind of torn between all this. I really like what I did with the throwers. And so she made that comment, and I was like, okay. So I just followed it, and I went into the office next door and just filled out an application and sent it out. And, 3 months later, I get an interview with them, and off I go. So wow. That transition to that. And then again, I think it's just following the yellow brick road of things, following that passion, if you will, or what I thought was my passion at the time. And getting up there and then end up rooming with the guy, right? And just having similar ideals and what we wanted to do in this industry, and then having the guts just to say, hey, let's start a business, And so we started scouting out things, and that led us down here to Newport News. And then it was like, okay, well, we have this vision, let's go make it happen. And then we were able to step foot into working with the athletes we do today.
Wow. It's amazing just hearing you talk about just a whisper. Mm-hmm. I'll take a chance on that. And then it leads you from here to there and down to here. Now you've got, just a year into the business, and you said one year into the business. Yeah. So just here you are now. Yeah. And how has your faith been an influence on those that you've trained? Like, how have you been able to use that to impart guidance and wisdom and encouragement to the people that you train?
That's a good question. I mean, it's hard to say directly. Yeah. I don't want to say I'm not a Bible thumper in my gym. But like we talked about before, ways in which we try to influence the people around and talk to is just playing Christian rap music, or whatever those kids are into these days. Playing that and having that around our gym. And what we find out is most of the time kids don't really care what they listen to sometimes, so having that control is nice. Mm-hmm. And they subliminally get some kind of message that's positive.
Right. Now, of course, you working with your wife in the gym, you guys kind of own it together. Mm-hmm. How does that all come together? Just from a faith-based standpoint, how does it all come together with you, the dynamic between you two, your business, your family?
It's good. I mean, like I said, a lot of transition with just understanding roles in the business and then at the house, really trying to separate it. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes they bleed into each other. So, Paige will handle certain things on the business end, and then I'll handle certain things on the business end. And, days have their challenges, but it's a great challenge, I would say.
Yeah. So what's the most rewarding thing about waking up in the morning, walking into the doors of Legacy?
Just the opportunity that comes with the day. It's hard to sit there, and I'm not kind of a right now moment guy. I try to look, past and into the abyss of things, of what could happen, the vision of things, and just each day living that vision out is where I like to start each day.
Yeah. So where's inspiration taking you now?
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I got ideas in my head. and it's just a matter of them coming together, working each and every day toward that goal. So we'll see.
Awesome. Hey, well, thanks for your time, Kelby.
Absolutely.
Appreciate having you on the podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to this session of TheraFit. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass along our web address, holisticfamilysolutions.com, to your friends and colleagues. Be sure to check out the archive section of our website for previous podcasts. This has been an HFS production. Join us next time for another edition of TheraFit.